I would like to introduce Mr. Andy Gruber, who is the assistant principal at the primary school. And for our families who have students at the younger levels, Andy probably looks pretty familiar. He's one of the friendly faces to greet our students as they come in every single day. He actually started his career as an elementary teacher, but he has been a leader with us for the last 4 years. He's also one of the creative geniuses behind our social media communication that really gives us a peek into all the incredible things that are happening at Indian Hill Primary School. Andy, welcome.
Well, thanks, Dr. Stewart. I appreciate being invited to come and talk to you this morning.
We are so glad to have you. So it just makes sense to me. We have to jump in right away, I think, and talk about the magical reveal. So just to make sure everybody has context of that, the magical reveal is what we called it when we opened up our doors for the very first time for people to see the renovated spaces within Indian Hill Primary School and Indian Hill Elementary. But for now, why don't we keep our conversation just about the primary school? So take us back in time. I just can't imagine. I remember at one point your office was actually a broom closet during the renovation period, and you had this opportunity to watch this all take place over time. I would just love to hear your thoughts about it.
Yeah, no, it's been an amazing 4 years of a journey of walking into a new position between two buildings, being in a room that was not up to par, I guess, for my office space, and some things that we realized would need to be changed. So, first meeting I ever attended in this district was about construction while we were in COVID. So you knew it was definitely a priority for the district, and seeing it really come to life over the last couple of years has been pretty spectacular. And to finally have that magical reveal, to see these unbelievable focused spaces come to life, it was spectacular. It's been a great start.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that some memories that I will hold on to really for the rest of my career will be those moments that I saw students come into the building and gasp, or the playground. Was that a popular place during the magical reveal?
Oh, it was packed. We were going to discover real quickly, did we hit it out of the park or not? And I think we did. It was spectacular. Student focused. They drove it with the idea of STEM learning and all of that. We've been partnering. One of our challenges 2 years ago was, how can we recreate that space?
Right.
Students did it, and they finally got to see it come to life.
Can you imagine what that feels like for them? I hope that is a memory for them to last a lifetime, that they said, let us go through multiple iterations of designing a playground. They got feedback from community, from faculty, from our architects, and then what you see is what they designed. How incredible is that?
It was the design process in real life coming to life.
Right.
It was incredible to see it. I noticed a lot of our elementary friends who were part of that design thinking process over the last couple of years. They were some of the first kids on that playground because it felt personal for them. So I'm glad they got to experience.
I am too. So why don't we start with a little video that just shows the return on investment and all that our community allowed us to do to create these new and better spaces.
Hi, I'm Kirk Konecki from Indian Hill Exempted Village School District, and this is our Return on Investment series. When you think about what the public was looking for in this project, we got some amazing things outside and inside. Safety, security was a big deal. What's happened?
Well, I hope you had a chance to come to our magical reveal. Everybody got to see was our safety and security. We did an upgrade at the front entrance. Now there's a set of doors that you will enter. You're allowed to come into a vestibule. You'll then go into a lobby where the secretaries will be able to get your name. They'll be able to do all the things they need to do, and then they'll be able to let you into the building from there. Beyond that, we've been able to put some barriers out there where the parking area is. It's just been a fantastic upgrade over what this building used to be. It used to be fantastic. It's even better now.
And then inside the building, Dr. Owens, we've got all these amazing renovated spaces that our children and staff are going to use. Tell us a little about what we're going to see.
You're going to see some amazing common spaces. A brand new multi-purpose room, completely accessible. Our cafeteria is so beautiful. The children were thrilled when they walked through the doors. It's going to create an ease of flow when students are getting their lunch and coming into the cafeteria, as well as our whole entryway has been renovated, and it's extremely kid-friendly. The oohs and ahs we got from the children as they recognized the animals from their natural local environment, the hand-painted designs and murals on the wall as they travel through the building, our space wall that actually puts our planets in scale as they are, so the students can continue to learn as they walk through our hallways.
We're standing in a renovated auditorium in a building that's well over 50 years old, and now our students are going to be able to use this stage for decades to come. New seating, new sound, new lighting, new ceiling. We see this ADA ramp. We have really upgraded a building that had good bones and added a lot of details. What are some of the things that excite you, Dr. Owens, about the teaching and learning spaces that provide that return on investment that we like to talk about for kids?
We recently became the only K-2 school STEM designated in the state of Ohio. And our building allows our teachers to focus on what they need to do to help children become the future.
Safety and security, HVAC, and energy were big themes in the project. Can you talk a little bit about what has been done to renovate this building and make it a better use for us in terms of the economics of running the district?
So one of the biggest things we were concerned with, obviously with the 50 to 60-year-old building, is making sure that we can sustain it for a much longer period of time. One of the largest roof sections that we had left in the district that we hadn't really put much tender loving care into was on this building. It was over the auditorium gym section. That was one of the things we took care of with this project. We also had an elevator in this building that also needed a lot of attention. We've put some into that. We've made sure that that's available. We've made sure that that's a safe place for our students and our staff. We've upgraded some of our roof areas to make sure that we can put some solar panels up there in the future if we choose to go that route. We've upgraded our HVAC. We've made sure that that's the most efficient and effective. We've also done some controls work, and I know that's not the exciting part of what we want to talk about today, but that's what regulates the heat and cooling in our buildings, and what makes sure we're doing it in a manner that's fiscally responsible. So it's very important that we're always looking out for those things, and we're setting up ourselves for the next 2 decades to make sure that we're running our buildings the best we can.
We weren't able to cook fresh meals in this kitchen before. We brought a lot of food in at times. What does the new kitchen allow us to do?
Oh, the new kitchen is beautiful. We have brand new state-of-the-art freezers. We have a cooktop. We have a dishwashing station. All of this is now located in the back of the kitchen, so it's not taking up the eating space where children are. But we have the opportunity to provide a lot of things on our menu that we couldn't do in the past because we actually had a working, functioning kitchen.
The Indian Hill Promise is about providing amazing opportunities with our world-class faculty and now world-class facilities here at IHPS. We hope that's a great return on investment.
Now, what I'd love to hear from you is, like, when you think about the return on investment, what comes to your mind?
I think of just the whole mission of our district and being student focused, and all means all, and we've created spaces where everybody can find success. This community loves to celebrate, loves to come together, and we've the focus of the primary were a lot of those community spaces. So we now have a state-of-the-art auditorium, a multi-purpose room that will have so many reasons to be used by a variety of community members. We have a cafeteria that is simply it's just beautiful.
Right.
So a lot of welcoming spaces where we can really come back together. We've had a couple of years where we had to be apart. So now we're back together and we're doing it in some pretty amazing spaces.
Right. I agree with you. One of the things that I found was that as people started to come and see the spaces, I just couldn't say thank you enough. If it wasn't for how special this community is, and I say this often, and it couldn't be more sincere when I say it. One of the things that makes Indian Hill Schools so special is our community and our parent support. And they really came out to support us by passing a historical bond and levy that allowed us to create these spaces. And I'm so thankful for that. I'm so thankful to be able to work in a community like this.
As a building administrator, you feel that support, and that just emphasizes all the missions and goals that we have. I know our staff feel it too. We have some of the best staff in the entire world. And for them to get to work in world-class facilities, it shows that commitment of the district.
Right. One of the things that I loved about the design process is we were very deliberate in our thinking about the youngest of learners. And so, for example, as we were starting to think about customizing some art that would be in the hallways, we made sure that it wasn't at my eye level. It had to be at the eye level of what it looked like for a 5, 6, 7-year-old student. So there are so many little special places that are designed very specific for the youngest of learners. We'd just love to hear from you. Will you just tell us about like just one of those spaces that's been designed for the youngest of students and like what that feels like?
Yeah, no, totally. So obviously the playground is a really important space, but we've already talked about it. I think when you walk into the building and you get through our secure entrance, which is best for, the whole community, getting into that new lobby space, what we're calling right now the forest. I think we could probably use a better name for it in the future.
I love the idea. It does look like a forest. It's incredible.
But it really just has that, community space where classes can come together. We had 3 rooms, 3 classes who were working on a project-based learning assignment with their classes. They had a guest speaker, Mr. Johnson, came in, and it really just made that space come alive. Had some great features on the wall for students to interact with. It is perfect for a K-2 building, and it's, to me, just sets the building apart from the experience kids are going to have throughout their time here on Drake Road. Right.
One of the things that I have really enjoyed is that in that lobby area that you're describing, it is filled with items that those students will actually see right here in Indian Hill. So there is part of that display includes a horse, and we have a long and robust equestrian history within Indian Hill. A deer, like the birds that they will find in our bird sanctuary and that we've created in the back of the building, and to be able to have that, and the fact that they're manipulative so that students can move it around to recreate what that scene looks like. It brings me so much joy to see the joy in their faces when they're having those experiences.
Right. It's a great way to enter the building every single day, and it's been really spectacular.
Right. I agree with that. It has been spectacular. So beyond the great facilities that we're talking about, there are some other things at the primary school that are new. So why don't you tell us a little bit about the role of the teachers, Liz Smallwood and Barbie Presnell? Why don't we start there?
Super exciting additions to the primary school team. Obviously, Liz Smallwood's been a part of our team for the years, but now she has a new role with Play Studio. We really believe in early intervention. We believe in providing students what they need as early as possible, making sure we're providing an experience that is world-class, getting the students what they need. So Play Studio is giving that opportunity through our STEM identity. We've discovered, play is a huge part of what we do at the primary level. The 4 C's: communication, collaboration, critical thinking, and I missed one.
Creativity.
And creativity, there it is. Always forget one. But that's coming alive in that class with social emotional learning as well. It's really amazing to see these kids take something that we think as being a simple idea as play, but all the complex nature that comes out of it and ways they can learn and develop as learners. So that's been really exciting. We have Barbie Presnell, who's a behavior specialist, providing extra support for students who just need a little extra hand to make their day super successful at the primary. So I think the district has just been so responsive to the needs of our students, definitely student focused, and we're seeing some really great, we're seeing some great success with it early on.
Right. Liz Smallwood has actually been a guest on Masterclass in the past. I mean, when I can say that she's written the book about the role of play, like I'm literal. Like she's really written the book. I would say she's probably one of the experts that we have within the country in the field of education. So to be able to provide this cognitively engaging space for students to be able to think through problem solving by using play is pretty incredible. So there was a time that this took place just this week that I was like, oh my gosh, this is so brilliant. So in that classroom, which every student goes into that space, it is like part of their rotation schedule, like music and art, right? Everybody gets it?
Yep.
So I was in, and there was a group of students, and they were working with some items that they were pretending to be candles, and they were figuring out like how to use them, and they were kind of stuck, and she just happened to go by. And she started talking to them about it. Oh, this is really, those are going to be candles. And then what she was doing is she was really teaching math. So she was saying like, well, how many candles do we have total? Oh, that's interesting. How many friends do we have that want to play with these candles right now? Oh, how can we figure out how we divide that? And like I could see her in this very masterful way incorporating math. It was incredible, and right within play. I mean, they were not real candles, right? Like it was really using their imagination. It was really incredible.
Well, what I think is so amazing about Liz is she takes her expertise, and it's not just stuck in her four walls.
Right.
She's helping our
That's a good point.
helping our whole building grow with it. We have what we call learner leadership teams, where faculty members are taking the different parts of our strategic plan and trying to grow with it. And she helps lead that group. And we're noticing teachers find different ways to implement it outside of her room. So
incredible.
It's a movement greater than just her four walls. So that's the power of pretty amazing people we have here.
Yeah, that's incredible. I also am just so appreciative of this new role with Barbie Presnell as well. Because we say often about our commitment to arts and athletics and academics. But when we think about the whole child, is how we often refer to that, it's also taking care of the child emotionally and socially. So what a better time that if there's a child who, let's say, is experiencing some separation anxiety at the start of the day, there are now multiple people that can be involved with that family to help with that. So it doesn't feel scary, hard, lonely. We not only have our counselors, which at the primary is Jennifer Earhart, who's wonderful. We not only have great administrators with the two principals that we have between Andy and Dr. Aaron Owens, but we also have the specialist who has a wealth of knowledge. The tools in her toolbox are gigantic. And so no matter what the situation, she's right there to help to make sure that we're really taking care of all parts of each child's life.
I definitely think, in Indian Hill, we take a team approach, especially when we're trying to get to understand some of our students who have a variety of needs. So having a whole support, as you just mentioned, all these people who are come together as a team makes it successful.
Right.
And have someone as talented as Barbie lead the charge for this. I think we're going to see tremendous success with it.
Right.
I'm really excited to see the impacts of it as we, get through the year.
Right. I agree.
But I can already tell, being between the primary and the elementary, she's on the move, and she's really made an impact. She's made an impact with so many kids. So I have nothing but joy in my heart to think about her role and what it's going to do for our kids.
Right. And I also recognize that, like, maybe we're painting a picture of utopia. And granted, I do call the primary school the Disney of the North. I do. I think it's that kind of special. But in reality, we recognize that, like many other places, we do see some residual effects of the time of COVID and the shutdown within our students socially and emotionally. And rather than ignoring that or saying it's back to normal, it is saying we are committed to every child's success. And so let's put some things in place so that a child who is having some struggles gets all the support that they need to move on the other side of that.
Right. No, I agree with that. I definitely understand, when you go into education, there's what I think, some of the tough things can be, you don't know what's coming the next day. You don't know what incident may come that provides unique challenges or what moments of joy. It's in that discovering and through that team collaborative approach where I think keeps you fighting for the kids.
Yeah.
And I think these new resources and people in these new positions are going to help us get success.
I agree with that. There's one more new thing. So this was the very first year that the primary school had what they call Smarter Start. And it really was a pretty incredible start of the school year. Will you describe a little bit about what is the Smarter Start and why the primary school initiated it this year?
Yeah, no, we are super excited for the Smarter Start. It's been something that's sort of been going on with our kindergarten for years. So it's a chance for families to come in one-on-one with teachers. About 30 minutes, student-teacher time, parent-teacher time, time to grab some data, time to just really get to know the students. The impact of it has just been phenomenal. So, having that face-to-face time eased so much worries in terms of what I saw on the first day of school, seeing kids walk in the building, feeling that extra feel of success. So it used to be just K, now it's 1 and 2.
Right.
Every single student in our building gets an opportunity to be a face-to-face time with their teacher. And I think has really helped us have a really smooth and smart start for our year. One major impact that I think is, a huge celebration is it used to take us about 7 weeks to collect all our student data to start interventions. We were able to do it week 2.
That's incredible.
So
That's such a difference.
5 weeks earlier to get kids exactly what they need. We talk about all of these positions, all of these changes that the district have made for students. How are we going to improve their experience? The Smarter Start has allowed us to do it in so many ways.
Right. Sometimes when you go to the first day of school, especially when you're talking about kindergarten students, naturally there might be some tears. And I'll be honest, like not only tears from some students, but I've seen some parents crying over the years as well. But there was just something about like that individual time with every family and every teacher that it just felt very celebratory, calm, peaceful.
Right.
Joyful, like on those days. It was really a pretty incredible moment to see everybody come in on their first day where the whole building came in. Yeah, it had a really nice feeling to it.
I completely agree. Makes me think of the first day of school.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, here we are. We start on a Friday, 500 kids coming in. We have 160 or so kindergartners walking in that front door, trying to remember where they need to go. Seeing the group of high school students come in and work with those kids, celebrate. I don't know who was more excited for the first day of school, the kindergartners or our seniors. It was incredible.
Yeah. So just to make sure everybody has the background on that, I'm so glad that you brought that up. We've been doing this for maybe 2 or 3 years now, that we invite seniors who can find the time in their schedule to come to the primary school. And when our kindergartners enter the door, it is one of the seniors who walks them to their classroom. I'm going to tell you, this is what I told everybody. It about broke me. Like some of these seniors, this is one of the greatest honors of my job. Some of those seniors I have literally known since they arrived into the school setting, like in a pumpkin seat with their older siblings. I can say that I've known them really their whole life so far. And to watch them walking down, I mean, I just had like a lump in my throat the entire time. It was such a special moment.
Right.
It was so incredible.
When I think not only the celebration for them to look at these kindergartners who are starting their new experience, it was celebration for them to see what's happened to their old stomping grounds and seeing where it's come. All of these, things that we've been celebrating and working so hard on. You could see that sense of pride they had in the space as well.
Right. Andy, you've done such a good job describing everything that is happening. Is there anything else that you want to tell us about the next steps, or anything that I haven't asked you about the primary school?
No, the primary school, I've been very fortunate to be a part of Indian Hill for the last 4 years. And as we all know, with COVID and construction has been anything but just, business as usual.
True.
But I have been so impressed, not only with our community and our students, but just the staff, how we've embodied so many great with our strategic plan and our building's focus on really diving into our STEM designation work. I'm excited to see where that's all going to go. If we were able to accomplish everything we were able to through everything we went through, I can't imagine what the future is going to hold for us, especially as we really start inviting the community into all these amazing spaces we keep talking about. So to me, the world of Drake Road for our community, we're a small district, and the IH Promise starts at the primary, and I can't wait to see where all of these amazing experiences grow. I think we're going to go pretty far, so I'm pretty excited about it.
I agree with that. Well, when we talk about like the world, and that is Drake Road, which is our world right now, it is like a really incredible place to be. And I can sincerely say that one of the reasons that it is special is because of our world-class educators and our incredible leaders. And Andy, that really includes you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
We're so pleased that you're here and that you're making an impact on staff and students every single day. So thank you for all that you do.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
And thank you for being part of Masterclass.